1900 hours. May 3rd, 2026. Montecito, California. The air is thick with the scent of expensive jasmine and the sound of clinking crystal. Meghan Markle stands at the center of her manicured lawn, raising a glass of vintage champagne. To the world watching her live stream, she is the ultimate success story. Her new lifestyle brand has just cleared $50 million in pre-orders within the first 6 hours. She looks radiant. She looks untouchable. She looks, as her PR team frequently insists, full of compassion. But while the cameras capture her perfect smile, 8,000 miles away in a cold, grey London morning, a different kind of clock has just hit zero. It is 0300 hours on May 4th. Inside the high-security offices of the law firm Harbottle & Lewis, a high-ranking partner clicks send on an encrypted file. The subject line reads, "Urgent ultimatum, notice of title deprivation." This is not just another tabloid rumor. This is a surgical strike from the heart of the British establishment. For the first time in over a century, the palace has officially activated the Titles Deprivation Act. The trigger is a declassified intelligence dossier that has been buried for 2 decades. Before you go any further, if you want to see the actual documents we have uncovered, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We are tracking this file in real time. As the sun rises over London today, May 4th, 2026, the legal foundation under the Montecito mansion is not just cracking. It is evaporating. The ultimatum delivered to Meghan's private inbox is chillingly specific. She has exactly 24 hours to provide verified original medical records regarding the birth of Archie. No more carefully edited statements. No more vague denials. The palace is demanding the truth about the of-the-body requirement for the line of succession. You might wonder why, if such a legal hammer was falling, she was seen smiling and celebrating just hours ago. This brings us to a sophisticated psychological operation we call the deflection mechanism. This is how the Markle PR machine actually works. Step 1. Predict the legal scandal. Step 2. Launch a massive, high-glamour commercial event to flood the search engine results. When people search for her name today, she wants them to see $50 million success, not royal title stripped. Step 3. Deploy an army of digital supporters to frame any investigation as venomous jealousy. A former staffer who was in that Montecito garden last night whispered the reality to our investigators. The staffer recalled the moment Meghan checked her phone away from the cameras. Her face did not just drop. It turned to stone. She leaned in and told an aide, "Tell the digital team to double the ad spend. I want the brand launch to be the only thing the world talks about for the next 48 hours. We need to drown them out." But you cannot drown out a legal ultimatum. The mechanism is failing because the evidence is no longer just anecdotal. We are looking at a pattern of behavior that began 20 years ago in a small audition room in Hollywood and has escalated to the highest levels of constitutional crisis. While she is selling you organic jams and luxury linens, her legal team is scrambling to explain why certain signatures on a birth certificate from 7 years ago do not match any known medical professional in the United Kingdom. Meghan Markle is not running. She is doing something much more dangerous. She is kneeling at the lens while the very ground she stands on is being reclaimed by the crown. This is the moment the facade breaks. We have obtained the timeline of exactly what happened between that audition in 2004 and the encrypted email sent 3 hours ago. Are you seeing the pattern yet? Comment pattern below if you think the palace has finally had enough. We are about to dive into the first secret, the one that started it all. The lie that proved Meghan Markle would do anything to get past the gatekeepers. And it all started with a plastic card she did not actually own. Stay tuned, because what follows is the paper trail they tried to shred. To understand the crisis currently unfolding in London on this morning of May 4th, 2026, we must travel back 22 years to a nondescript office in Century City, Los Angeles. The year is 2004. A young, hungry actress named Rachel Meghan Markle sits in an audition room for a CBS pilot. She is talented, yes, but she is missing the one thing that grants entry into the elite world of professional acting: a Screen Actors Guild card. The casting director looks up from her headshot and asks the standard gatekeeper question, Are you SAG? Without a flicker of hesitation, Meghan looks them directly in the eye and says, "Of course." It was a lie. A cold, calculated, professional fabrication. But in Meghan's world, a lie is not a moral failing. It is a tactical maneuver. This is what we call the original sin of her career. The moment she realized that the system does not just tolerate deception. If you are bold enough, the system will actually reward it. This was the first time she successfully deployed what investigators now call the Taft-Hartley infiltration. It works with the precision of a clockwork heist. Step 1. Claim a professional status you do not possess to secure a contract. Step 2. Sign the paperwork, creating a massive legal liability for the production company. Step 3. When the truth inevitably surfaces during the payroll process, the production is already committed. Under the federal Taft-Hartley Act, the company is legally forced to sponsor the actress for union membership to avoid a labor dispute or a production shutdown. Step 4. The system rewards the fraud by granting the very membership she lied about having. One of the casting directors from that session later recalled the encounter to investigators, stating, "It was really stupid to lie because it was a minor role, but she did it anyway. She played the part of a union actress so well that we did not even check until she was already on set. By then, our hands were tied." The authority staircase here is undeniable. We have reviewed the CBS HR archives from 2004. The records show a frantic flurry of emails from the legal department once they realized their union guest star had no file. More damning are the tax records we have analyzed from that fiscal year. There is no record of initiation fees or union dues being paid by Meghan Markle until after the production of Century City was wrapped. Meghan did not join Hollywood. She broke into it using a master key forged from a single, sharp deception. If she was willing to manipulate a federal labor law and a major television network just to get her foot in the door for a one-line role, ask yourself this: what would she be willing to do to get her foot inside a royal palace? The behavior we saw in 2004 is the exact same blueprint being used in 2026. The stakes have simply evolved from a SAG card to a royal title. But even then, there was another, deeper layer to the deception. While she was rewriting her professional status, she was also beginning to rewrite her personal history. There was one man who made that entire Hollywood dream possible. A man who paid for the headshots, the tuition, and the very clothes she wore to that audition. A man she would eventually decide was no longer useful to the narrative she was building. The paper trail from 2004 does not just show a lie about a union card. It shows the first heartbeat of a woman who views people, laws, and truths as obstacles to be bypassed. And as the sun rises in London today, the world is starting to wonder if the Duchess is just another character created by the same woman who hacked her way into the Screen Actors Guild. But the most uncomfortable question remains. If the career was built on a false foundation, what does that say about the marriage? And why was there a second secret life happening in Toronto that Prince Harry was never supposed to find out about? "I didn't know much about him." Those 7 words, delivered with wide-eyed innocence during the 2021 Oprah Winfrey interview, became the foundation of a modern fairy tale. But as we look at the data being declassified on this morning of May 4th, 2026, that fairy tale looks less like a romance and more like a meticulously scripted tactical operation. Prince Harry might have believed he was going on a blind date, but the evidence suggests Meghan Markle had been studying the target for years. The paper trail begins as early as 2013. While she was still a secondary actress on a cable legal drama, Meghan was already hiring high-end British publicists. She was not just visiting London for vacation. She was seeking a platform, asking to be featured in the very tabloids she now claims to despise, and building a network of socialite contacts. She was an American actress with a very specific, very British ambition. By early 2016, the research phase intensified. Through her connections at Soho House, specifically through her close associate Marcus Anderson, Meghan began a deep dive into Harry's inner social circle. Our sources indicate she did not just want to meet a prince. She wanted to meet the prince. She studied his interests, his vulnerabilities, and most importantly, the psychological profile of his late mother. She was not looking for a man. She was looking for a vacancy in the royal firm. But there is a darker side to this blind date narrative. In Toronto, celebrity chef Corey Vitiello was living a very different reality. For 2 years, he and Meghan had shared a home, a life, and a public identity as a power couple. In May 2016, when Meghan traveled to London for that fateful first meeting, Corey was still under the impression that he was her partner. The timeline we have uncovered is chillingly efficient. In June 2016, while the world remained unaware of the royal courtship, neighbors in Toronto reported seeing moving vans at the house Meghan and Corey shared. Meghan was quietly extracting her life from the chef while still maintaining the appearance of a relationship. Corey was effectively being ghosted from his own life as his girlfriend pivoted toward a global throne. We have obtained a digital footprint that destroys the innocent coincidence theory. It is a verified Uber receipt from Soho House, London, timestamped at 0200 hours on July 1, 2016. This was the night of their second date. While Harry was reportedly falling in love with her spontaneity, Meghan was operating with surgical precision. She knew exactly where he would be, who he would be with, and how to present herself as the one thing he had been searching for his entire life. A former associate of the Toronto social scene recalled the atmosphere of that summer. It wasn't a standard breakup. It was a total erasure. One day, she was Corey's partner, and the next she had effectively vanished to claim a prize in London. She had been planning the exit strategy for months, long before the blind date ever happened. Harry did not find a soulmate in a crowded room. He was the target of a multi-year infiltration strategy. Meghan Markle did not stumble into the royal family. She engineered a collision course that the prince never had a chance to escape. But the hunting of the prince was only the beginning. Once she was inside the palace walls, the strategy shifted from infiltration to imitation. And as the sun rises today, new documents are emerging that show she was not just mimicking the Princess of Wales. She was systematically strip mining the intellectual property of some of the world's most iconic women. The question is no longer who she is. The question is who she stole her identity from next. As the clock ticks toward the deadline set by the palace on this afternoon of May 4, 2026, a new chapter of the declassified dossier has begun to circulate among high-level media insiders. It is titled the Copycat Protocol. For years, the global public has been sold the image of Meghan Markle as a visionary leader and a voice for the voiceless. But the documents currently being analyzed tell a far more clinical story. Meghan Markle does not create. She absorbs. This is the psychological reality of the symbolic parasite. A person who systematically hijacks the aura, the words, and the very identity of established icons to mask a lack of original substance. Our investigators have identified at least 7 major instances where her original thoughts were, in fact, borrowed from the history books. Let us look at the authority staircase regarding her most famous public appearance. In 1951, Eleanor Roosevelt spoke to the world via the Voice of America broadcast, delivering a speech that became a cornerstone of human rights. In 2015, Meghan stood before the United Nations and delivered a closing that was almost identical. We have compared the 1951 Voice of America recordings with the UN transcript. Only one word was changed. Peace was swapped for equality. There was no credit given. No citation mentioned. It was a strategic seizure of a historical icon's gravitas, repurposed to build the brand of a rising star. This pattern extends into her multi-million-dollar commercial ventures. Internal Netflix emails from early 2025, recently leaked from the Montecito server, show a production team in a state of exhaustion. One senior producer's memo read, "The creative direction is stagnant because every concept she brings to the table is just a screenshot of someone else's success." Her recent lifestyle and cooking series faced immediate internal backlash when showrunners noticed the format was a near mirror image of Pamela Anderson's existing projects. Even the trademark for her podcast Archetypes was rejected by the United States Patent and Trademark Office because the name and concept had been established by others years prior. But the most unsettling form of this protocol is not professional. It is personal. It is what insiders call the Diana blueprint. Every tilt of the head, every strategic tear, And every candid photograph feels like a rehearsed echo of a woman she never met but has obsessively studied. Consider the neo-realism of her visit to Nigeria. She was photographed wearing a specific cross pendant that once belonged to Princess Diana. On its own, it would be a tribute. But look at the calendar. The appearance was timed with clinical precision to coincide with the wedding anniversary of Prince William and Catherine. This was not a fashion choice. It was a PR hijacking. She was using a dead woman's jewelry to signal to the world that she was the true heir to the people's princess crown, specifically at a moment designed to overshadow the future king and queen. Meghan Markle is a human collage. She is a collection of fragments stolen from Roosevelt's courage, Anderson's aesthetics, and Diana's tragedy. When you strip away the borrowed speeches, the repurposed business ideas, and the rehearsed mannerisms, what is left? As the sun sets today, May 4th, the world is beginning to realize that the Duchess of Sussex is not a person. She is a performance. And every performance requires a supporting cast. But what happens when that cast, the staff who have to manage the reality behind the curtain, decides to break their silence? The reports of what actually happens inside the Montecito mansion when the cameras stop rolling are about to turn the copycat protocol into something much darker. Kindness is the primary currency of the Markle brand. On this afternoon of May 4th, 2026, as the global public scrolls through the glossy launch of her latest commercial venture, the word compassion appears in almost every caption. But behind the high walls of the Montecito estate and within the digital archives of the declassified dossier, a much sharper reality is emerging. It is a reality that led one of the most influential trade publications in the world, The Hollywood Reporter, to label her with a chilling moniker, the dictator in high heels. This is not just about a difficult boss. This is about a systemic failure of leadership that saw 12 high-level executives, men and women at the top of their professional fields, walk away from Archewell by the end of 2025. This was an exodus, not a reorganization. And as the sun sets today, we are beginning to understand the mechanism of what investigators call narcissistic management. The mechanism operates with the precision of a trap. Step 1. The public facade. Before the cameras, she is the embodiment of empathy, speaking in soft, rehearsed tones about uplifting communities. Step 2. The 0500-hour reality. The moment the cameras are off, the kindness evaporates. Former staffers have described a deluge of emails and demands beginning at 5 o'clock in the morning, often involving impossible tasks or minute details of her own public image. Step 3 is the most clinical: isolation and silencing. Every staff member is reportedly bound by an ironclad non-disclosure agreement designed to make them feel that a single whisper about the reality of the office would lead to total professional and financial ruin. And finally, Step 4. The panic state. By keeping her team in a constant state of hypervigilance and psychological uncertainty, she ensures total control. The authority staircase regarding these claims is now fully visible. We are no longer relying on anonymous palace sources. The declassified file includes a summary of the 2021 palace bullying investigation, which found a pattern of behavior so distressing that Buckingham Palace reportedly changed its HR policies as a direct result. But more explosive are the leaked documents from 2025. Summaries from professional therapists who treated 3 former Archewell employees. These clinical notes describe a level of workplace trauma usually reserved for survivors of high-control cults, not a non-profit organization dedicated to kindness. A particularly harrowing account comes from a former British Airways crew member who served the couple in the high-security first-class cabin. The staffer recalled a distinct Jekyll and Hyde transformation. When Prince Harry was in the vicinity, the staffer noted, she was the picture of grace. The moment he stepped out of earshot to use the restroom, her voice dropped an octave. Her eyes went cold, and she spoke to the crew as if they were subhuman. It was not just rude, the staffer said. It was calculated. At Montecito, it appears that kindness is not a character trait. It is a commodity. It is something Meghan Markle gives to those who can increase her power and something she weaponizes against those who are paid to serve her. She speaks about empathy in the tone of a tyrant, leading a staff that has been decimated by the very compassion she sells to the world. But as the 12 employees who left by 2025 begin to find their voices, the Duchess is facing a crisis that no PR deflection can solve. Because the most loyal member of her inner circle, Prince Harry himself, is rumored to have seen a new set of records this morning. Records that do not just deal with staff treatment, but with a secret so fundamental to the British throne that it could end their royal story forever. The question is not just how she treated her staff. It is what she was hiding from her husband while they were still in the nursery. The sun is now high over London on this afternoon of May 4, 2026, and the 24-hour window issued by the British Home Office is rapidly closing. While the world stares at the $50 million success of her new brand, the legal reality is much grimmer. The core of the entire crisis is not about money, podcasts, or staff treatment. It is about three words that govern the very existence of the British monarchy: of the body. According to the Act of Settlement of 1701 and the Bill of Rights of 1689, a royal heir must be born of the body of the mother to remain in the line of succession. This is not a suggestion. It is a constitutional mandate. If a surrogate is used, even if the child is genetically related to the parents, that child is legally barred from the throne and any royal titles. This is the final breaking point. This is why the palace has spent the last 6 hours in an emergency meeting. For years, skeptics have pointed to the visual anomalies of Meghan's pregnancy. The way the size of the bump appeared to fluctuate wildly, sometimes changing shape within the same day. Investigative mothers pointed to the neo-realism of her movements. The ability to squat in 5-inch heels and stand up without using her hands while allegedly being 8 months pregnant, a physical feat that defies the biology of a third trimester pregnancy. But the authority staircase goes deeper than photos. Look at the official birth announcement of Archie. In every royal birth for centuries, the announcement on the Buckingham Palace easel is signed by the royal medical team. For Archie, the notice was blank. No doctors. No signatures. The legal department of the Home Office has now reportedly obtained the New York medical files from early 2019, and the data they contain is what triggered today's title deprivation ultimatum. As we stand at this crossroads on May 4, 2026, we see three distinct paths forward in the scenario tree. In the first scenario, the worst case, the New York medical records are leaked to the public, proving a surrogate was used. This would lead to the total collapse of the Sussex brand, the immediate removal of the children from the line of succession, and potential legal charges against Harry for concealing a fraud against the crown. The second scenario is the financial settlement. A $100 million divorce agreement is signed behind closed doors. Meghan receives a massive payout in exchange for her silence and her permanent departure from the United Kingdom's constitutional life. However, the most realistic scenario is what insiders call the Charles Protocol. King Charles uses his soft power to quietly freeze the titles of the children and remove them from the royal website without a public explanation. Meghan is left as a Duchess of Nowhere, stripped of the only thing that gives her commercial ventures value: her royal connection. The world has wondered for years why Meghan Markle never let go of her stomach in public. Body language experts claimed it was protective instinct, but Hollywood special effects veterans have a different theory. They suggest she was not protecting a child. She was holding on to a moon bump, a prosthetic device that was reportedly failing its adhesive under the hot lights of the paparazzi. The evidence has been building for years, but the mask finally slips tomorrow. In our next broadcast, we will show you the high-definition footage from the British Fashion Awards in December 2018. At the moment Meghan steps onto the stage, the bump does something physically impossible. It shifts. It moves. It drops toward her knees in front of a live audience. If you are ready for the final piece of this puzzle, you need to act now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications, because tomorrow's video contains the footage they tried to bury. Like this video if you believe the truth belongs to the people, and comment "transparency" below to join the investigation. The clock has hit 0. The secret is out. We will see you in 24 hours for the reveal that changes everything.